So, are you looking for a way to up your fashion game in Destiny 2? Whether it's Hunter, Warlock, or Titan, you may have come to the right place. And I will give you some pointers on stuff that I personally use to this day about like changing the way my character looks in this game. Whether it's uses of shaders, ornaments, obviously, a certain theme that I go for the character, whether it be like the ship, for example, like a rusted type of wastelander type thing, or high tech, or futuristic, or whatever it may be. Um, Also, uh, exotics, like making or like tying your character around that exotic, or like making your character uh, or basing your fashion based on the exotic. I'm sorry. Um, or it may be for like a weapon, say Kavostov. You do like a kind of militaristic type thing, or you could do Siva for uh, Outbreak Perfected. My bad. Um, you could tie your fashion around lore, for example, like of a certain guardian or a certain armor piece of lore, like One-Eyed Mask, Assassin's Cowl, whether it be like an exotic weapon or a legendary one. It doesn't really matter on what you choose. All it depends on is what you feel is good, and that's all that matters. Um, like what in like you could get inspiration from like a video game, a different video game, or a movie, or a TV show, or an anime, or a book that you read, for example. Um, and also try to be unique with it. Like, obviously, out there you can find certain fashion for different exotics and whatnot. Um, you could technically copy those fashion things. I have done that in the past, or a few times, but I think I've probably changed around a few items in that fashion to make it look more unique to my playstyle. Not playstyle, my like taste, I guess. I don't know. Um, or you could mess around with shaders to make it more unique to you. Um, that is all up to you. I will definitely give pointers. Like for example, this hunter right here. The arms and the class item go really well together, and it kind of matches the Gerfalcon. And I went for a sort of hunter esque, like a kind of like a clean hunter ish look. I know I'm using only two shaders here, but like I said, with being unique, um, mess around. You don't have, I mean, for all intents and purposes, you could use the same shader and it would look perfectly fine. Like right here, I'm using all Metro Shift. It looks perfectly fine. All of this shader looks fine. You could just use one shader, you could use five. Um, obviously, play around with it, see what looks better in your opinion. Um, Honestly, if you really wanted to, you could go for a different style for this. Like, pick an ornament, say for example this one. You can go for a more, like, high-tech scuba outfit, or I don't know. Um, just play around with the ornaments you have. Um, and the ornaments you don't have, you can preview them and then go all the way up here, see how it looks. If you don't like it, go back down and swap it around and change it around. Even change the shaders if you want to make it match better. Um, yeah, that's partly it. Same thing with exotics. You could match your look around an exotic. Um, like you could match the glows of, like, say a solstice armor um with an exotic that has a glow or whatever. It doesn't really matter which you choose. Um, like, I know I'm jumping around. This one, I have. I thought this class item looked good with Orpheus Rig, so I basically just added glows to kind of complement the glows of the quiver and the bow on the back. Obviously, ornaments are a big thing because that makes it look a little bit better because it more complements the darker purple of the eyes and the bow. Whereas before, it matched the kind of light purplish of the chest. And if you want to have the darker purple, go for, I don't know, say, like, mess around with different shaders and find out which one looks better for that sort of instance. Um, if you want to have, like, glows all throughout, go for it. If you want to have no glows, that is perfectly fine too. Like, like there. There's barely any glows, and it looks perfectly fine. Um, and if you want to go fully bright, you can use whatever style you want to go for. If you want to go for undead, you can go for this helmet, or one of the King's Fall ones, or something. If you want to go for a Fallen or Elixni type look, you could do Lightkin for any of the classes, really. I know I'm mainly on Hunter right now, but for example, Transformers just popped in my mind. If you wanted to do that, like say for Titan, the Cures the Falling Star has a really good ornament that I don't see a lot of people using. It's this Terminus Emissary. You can make it look like a Transformer from either the movies or any of the shows. Personally, I made mine look like Bumblebee from the standalone movie. I tried my best. Obviously, it's not the best in the world, but I have tried the best that I can, and I think it looks pretty darn good. Obviously, that is not it. It would be this one. Yeah, I've tried my best. Obviously, there's not a lot of yellow on the chest because shaders are a pain in the butt sometimes, and it is not the best thing in the world when it comes to shaders. Like, obviously, there will be sometimes where it looks really good, and then there's sometimes that'll turn out bad, I guess. But that is up for you to decide on what you think looks the best. Like, you could also use you could use inspiration from other Destiny 2 content, like um also like a ghost. You can base it off of that if you so chose to. Also, there's not a lot of people that I see or hear talk about this, but like your sparrow and your ship, you can easily make it tie into your character fashion. Like if if it is a tactical titan, you can choose. Like for example, the ship. You can choose this Alpha Zulu helicopter and go for a more tactical look. For the vehicle, you could do like I don't remember where it is, but there is a like Jeep looking vehicle or um or like a I don't know, just some sort of like tactical-esque vehicle for like to kind of tie into your build. If you want to go for a more like um like Hive inspired, you could do any of the Hive inspired ships or like Carver the Worm. That's more of a Vexy Hive, but same kind of difference. You could do a I don't know, let's just say How to Train Your Dragon, for example. You could use this to kind of make it look like Toothless, or the ship to make it look like Toothless, or any of the fire dragons, or any dragon for that matter. Honestly, like, there are millions of ways to go about this. Like, or you could tie it around, I don't know, a certain, like, Iron Banner theme. Or, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to help out. Like, they're, like, glows for exotics, themes, uh, an ornament for exotic, like I've done for that Bumblebee one. Um, Honestly, I'm sorry for rambling on, but the choice is yours at the end of the day. If if you want to do an all black Titan or Hunter or Warlock, be my guest. Obviously, um, be careful because, like here, for example, it, in my opinion, it does not match because the matte, uh, like the matte shading on this, uh, ornament versus the shiny of the shoulders and the helmet and the boots don't really go together. So I would say try to pick it carefully sometimes when it comes to like shader choices. Um, like obviously, uh, I don't know, if you want to go for a more like tactical look, you could do any of the real or like any of the like you could do like the more like earthy tones if you want to go for a more crazy look, you could go for like greens or pinks or uh, whatnot. Um, like obviously, I don't have all the ornaments in the world. Like obviously, I don't have all of these. And to be fair, you don't need all the ornaments to make good fashion. Like, for example, here, um, I'm using like the Eidolon, uh, yeah, the Eidolon Pursuant gauntlets. I'm using, well, obviously, this is Guardian Games, so actually, let me change that around. Let's do that, and then you could use the free set of Guardian one. Um, like, obviously, that looks alright. Heck, if you even really wanted to, you could use the full set of this uh, free set if you so chose, and it would look perfectly fine. Like, look, I'm using 4 out of the 5 veteran legend pieces, and it looks pretty fine. But obviously, play around, see what looks good, see what doesn't. Obviously, this would not match. I mean, in my opinion, it wouldn't match. But obviously, you have, like, people have different tastes than one another. Some people may think this looks good, some maybe think it's a bit too much, or it looks kind of dumb, or whatnot. Like I said, be unique. This is what I created. It has no kind of inspiration, or I kind of wanted to have a bit of glow here and there. I didn't want to have it to be too much. Like, I didn't want to have, where is it? Like here. I didn't want to just be using all of the same set. Like, I didn't really like the way the shoulders look on how they're kind of like stooped down, but that's my opinion. I know I'm probably not gonna have the same as other people. Um, yeah. And same thing. Obviously, Titans are gonna have more of like a metal. Are gonna have more metal like uh pieces of their armor. Um, rather than like they're gonna have more metal on their armor compared to like say a warlock, which is mostly like cloth ish materials. And to be fair, that is completely fine. Like here, I have my exotic class item, which has kind of like a kind of spiky aesthetic to it, so I was kind of building around that. I could go here and put on these aphotic lamellar boots, and they have the same kind of spiky aesthetic, except I didn't really choose that because it has kind of too much chrome for what I'm going for. Um, you could honestly choose a different shader and it would look pretty good. Like, I'm just going through all of the shaders that I have favorited, and 99% of them look fine, including this. Like Rivalry Resolute, that's mainly white with like accents of blue. This is mostly red with accents of like white and black. This is more of like a minimalist look. Yep, mostly purple. I usually go for this. Obviously, you saw in the Void Hunter, I chose this because it has that like really nice purple glow. I use this sometimes when I'm doing Void. I sometimes do just this Metro Shift because it just looks really clean sometimes. You could go monochromatic. That's a year one shader, by the way. You could do Bumblebee. Not as kind of sounds ironic, but I used Bumblebee shader to make Bumblebee on my Titan. You could do Avalon Teal. I feel like you can still get these. I don't know where. Um, Sugar coated. This is free in the Festival of the Lost challenges. Eclipsed Tempest. This was a Bright Dust shader, I believe. Iridocytes. I think this was a Gambit shader. Yeah, it is. Goldwork. This is Crucible for reaching, I believe, what, rank 5th, or no, rank 7 or something. It's either rank 5 or rank 7, I think, in the, like, ritual vendors. This one is for Zavala, obviously Shax, and then Drifter. Shosky, or hopefully that's how you pronounce it. It's from. Okay, I'm losing track. I'm sorry. Yeah, shaders work perfectly fine for what you're going for. Obviously, play around, look at every shader and see what matches your theme. If you're going for a dark warlock or like a dark wizard, then choose. There's a perfect kind of warlock or wizard hat for the warlock, obviously. If you want to go for another like dark wizard, you could do, I don't know, you could do something like this with a wizard hat, or this, or this isn't really the works. Obviously, like I said previously, play around, see what works, see what doesn't, see what fits your like expertise, see what doesn't. And if you do like it, obviously you could favorite it and use your Synthwave Bolt if you don't have it already unlocked. Just, yeah. Obviously I don't have the most for my Warlock. I play mostly Hunter for whatever reason. I'm gonna favorite this because I have seen a lot of looks that look really good with this helmet. But I guess don't just take my word for it. There's so many creators out there that have the same type of video, and I wanna say go into kind of more detail, like Muffin Bandit, for example, or Crips, or I think Spider Sides. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. There's a bunch of like Destiny 2 YouTubers that are actually really good at helping. Go check them out as well. I know this it's not really typical of me to do that, but like even Dado, for example, he has like uh fashion ratings on his channel, which kind of weird, but it makes sense. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully this helped at all, and leave a like, I guess. Subscribe if you are new, and yeah, I will catch you guys in a different video. Bye bye.